All right, up next, we have our candidates for Barrio chairs. We have Marian Amaranto, Mercy Candelaria, and Samuel Ebalobo. Marian, you can start us off whenever you're ready.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Okay, hi guys. Having participated in two barrios and in being on this year's officer board, I know how much beauty can happen when we all work together and inspire each other. From the committees and performers to the volunteers and our alumni, Barrio is everyone's show, and I hope to give everyone the opportunity to share the love and community we fostered throughout the entire year, and in turn impassion our audience to serve their own communities. During these times, especially of great uncertainty, it is important now more than ever that this next Barrio shows our audience that UFC has and will continue to be a symbol of hope and family for our communities. Thank you.
Hi. So, as a third gen Filipino American, my first barrio gave me a deeper bond to my culture and to this community. My first cultural show made me realize that barrio is bigger than all of us, and it was a safe space to acknowledge my unique story and struggles while displaying our beautiful culture and traditions. The struggles of young people have been unjustly taboo, when in reality, we overcome adversity with undermined issues like mental health, intersectionality, job searching, and beyond. I want to add a third dimension to the stories that make up our young and powerful generation by uplifting all of our diverse qualities and experiences. Thank you.
Can y'all hear me okay? All right. Good evening, everyone. Barrio has held a special place in my heart ever since I stepped out on that stage in my freshman year. Barrio is not only a show, but it is a catalyst for our growth as Filipino Americans. I want this to be an opportunity where we can not only cultivate deeper relations with each other, but also cement our footprint in our generational legacy. And that starts with giving back to those on the front lines. For those back in the homeland and those here who have been hit the hardest. And for the seniors who cannot experience their last barrio and the freshmen for their first, all of this is for them. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for those speeches. This now begins the 2-minute Q&A submission. Okay, so both of our current Barrio chairs have prepared questions, so we'll be starting with CJ's.
Hi y'all. So I just wanted to say I'm so proud of you guys. Oh my god. Okay, so this is gonna be a little long, so I'll definitely put it in the chat after, but okay, I'll start. Barrio is an event in which you and your co are able to honor traditions but also implement changes to make it your own. With that, please list one thing you would change/introduce and one thing that you would like to continue practicing. Why did you list these things? Please consider different aspects of Barrio like the logistical planning, fundraising, philanthropy, the committee setup, creative factors, and so on. And I'll put that in the chat.
Can I go first? I think something that I want to introduce or change, having gone through one full Barrio of my freshman year, is I definitely want to increase audience participation in the show. Just getting feedback from family members and friends and fellow students who attended the show. Since it is a pretty long program, I feel like audience participation will really help keep the audience engaged and really kind of awake and active throughout the entirety of the show, and not just like to get up for dinner or to like go up and use the bathroom, stuff like that. And I also wanted to introduce like increased accessibility for people who aren't Filipino, or who don't understand the slangs or the phrases or the songs that we use in the show, either by including like a little dictionary in the program where we can explain the different like aspects of Tagalog or Filipino culture, or have subtitles on the screen when a Filipino song is being played, stuff like that. Something that I want to keep is our relationship with the philanthropy that we've been working with the past 2 years, which is the Foundations of Filipino Progress. I really like what they stand for. I know that they have 3 pillars where they address health, education, and human rights. And I love that it just recognizes the fact that all these difficulties that faced by people back home are connected to each other. And yeah, another thing that I really appreciated from Rika and CJ's Barrio was their ability to really manage their time and make sure that we weren't cramming everything the few weeks leading up to Barrio. And I think it not only helped us as like students having midterms usually around Barrio season, having a lot of work due at that time, but it also helped us put our 100% or something close to that to the work that we put in for Barrio. And so one of the things that really stuck with me this year was that burnout really, really shouldn't be normalized. And I hope to continue that on so that we're able to give our 100% both for school and for Barrio. Thank you.
Could I go next? I think for my aspect I want to change about Barrio is going off of what Marian said was our philanthropy is really wholesome with the three pillars, but I kind of want to branch that out a little bit more in the sense that we have we just have so much to give back for. Like for this event, we have such a big platform for which we can give back, and I think having more than one philanthropy would be good to fully embrace what we do as this community, like all the hard work that we go through. Um, I know Foundation for Philippine Progress, they do help people back home, but then uh, as I was going through why I wanted to run for this position, I realized that we've neglected us as Filipino Americans as well, which is why I don't know, maybe adding sort of a part of the philanthropy to help a community out in like for us here as Filipino Americans would be good. One example I have for that would be the Philippine Nurses Association of America, because most frontline workers here in this day and age are Filipino American, and I want to give back to them too. And something I would want to keep for the process of Barrio is starting early. I think because this year was really impactful for us because we did promote I guess a atmosphere where we did not normalize burnout like Mar said, but also start maybe if we can like hammer out some stuff in the summer and maybe start in fall quarter, even if we are online, that would really help the process of Barrio go a little bit smoother. Thank you.
Hi guys. So something new I would introduce for Barrio 2021. This time I would want to introduce more present and relatable issues that impact our generation today, like um, this especially challenging part of our history right now with COVID and how it's impacting us through our job search and how we're having to grow in these confined spaces within our homes, which may not be a bad thing, but all of our experiences are just as relevant. And I want to emphasize that all of our voices are diverse and important. So I also want to, in light of the present hardships that I want to focus on, I want to touch base with more issues that are practiced through the skit. I want to talk more about like intersectionality and real issues that impact our generation, especially with our mental health, especially since it's been tabooed, and generations before us have always undermined it um, and has made it difficult for us to really come out and be truly ourselves and empower our true identities. So that's something I would change and improve with the skit and like the Barrio message with our own unique voices and stories that we can all relate to, especially this year because 2020 has not been the easiest year, but nothing is really easy. But something I would keep in mind and use for the future is CJ and Rika's priority and focus on preparation and keeping keeping Barrio as an outlet for fun and cultural empowerment instead of making the last few weeks a source of burnout and drama and anything like that, because I really don't want drama to impact Barrio at all, because in the end, Barrio is bigger than all of us, and I want us to keep considering, sorry, I'm just like so passionate. Barrio is really bigger than us because it's a showcase of the Filipino culture, and when the community sees Barrio, they see the rest of the Philippines and our culture, and we become local representatives of the Filipino culture. So I want to keep the objectives for Barrio clear, and how we plan and how we set standards to be fluent and honestly consistent throughout the whole time, because when we plan for Barrio and when we execute it, I want people to leave all that negativity and all of that drama at the door, and I want people to focus on the real objective, the real goal, to be a beautiful Barrio that encompasses all of our beautiful stories and our culture. And I just want people to see when they come to Barrio Night that we are beyond stereotypes. We're beyond all the things that people may hear about us, like we're just islanders, we're just deep in colonial mentality, because we're way beyond that. We've broken glass ceilings. We have more and more what's it called? More and more public figures that are Filipino in media and the music industry, and I just want to highlight that our history and our stories are relevant, and that it's not just that being Filipino is not just about being an immigrant or like from the homeland, because I haven't even been to the homeland. I don't even speak the language, I admit, but I just want to move forward with like how colorful our history is and our identity is as growing and developing Filipino Americans, because all of our voices matter, as I said. And I do realize that fundraising and financing is an important part of Barrio and all of this. But if we set the right objectives and the right deadlines and mindset, I feel like we can successfully fund all of this with when we outreach effectively, and we seek help when we needed it, and we look for organizations who are interested in our mission and interested in our cause and who are able to help us. Thank you.
All right, our next question is from Rika.
Hi guys, can you guys hear me? Okay, cool, just making sure. All right, so first of all, I want to say good job to all the candidates. I'm really proud of all you guys. Okay, so here's my question. As students, you and your committee have other commitments besides UFC or Barrio, like exams, jobs, extracurriculars, etc. How do you plan on maintaining professional relationships in regards to Barrio timelines while also still being understanding of these other commitments? If you want me to put that in the chat, let me know, or rephrase it. Also, yes. Okay, I will put it in the chat.
I can start with this one. I think in terms of us being students while also being part of Barrio, I kind of want to make it clear that we want to create an environment where we promote constructive criticism and have it be a space for collaboration. Because we are a committee, you can't like one person isn't delegated to just one task. We can all help each other out. And I think something concrete that we can employ to keep professionalism within working within the space is creating a system where we have hard and soft deadlines. So, but what I mean by that is for soft deadlines, just having like a span of days where you can complete something, but then also with hard deadlines, it gives them that flexibility for so that they can complete their task however way possible to better fit their schedule, but still have it be done. And once again, we can just continue with the theme of starting things early to relieve stress when it comes. Thank you.
Hi guys, it's me again. So I feel like when it comes to our other commitments and our professional relationships, I feel like time management is a really good aspect to consider, like utilizing your planner and like being able to take a step back and reflect on what objectives are for Barrio and what goals need to be set in order to be accomplished. Because, like I said, Barrio is bigger than all of us, and we are. And with all the other commitments and committees, with everyone having differing schedules and everything, I feel like in this process we have to all understand that we're all human and we struggle. So if I need help or if anyone needs help, nobody should be afraid to be vulnerable, like especially me, potentially me and my because being vulnerable is not a sign of weakness. It's more so a sign of a strong leader who wants to improve and can depend on their team to like rise above all the conflicts and issues that come with like problem solving and like commitment issues, because we all signed up for this. And although I don't want to be like too forceful and negative about like signing up for all of these Barrio responsibilities, I want people to remember that there's a direct objective, and that Barrio stems from empowerment. And people should realize that they're not just doing this for themselves, they're doing it for the whole community. So if when they sign up for this, I need them to realize this important fact. And although as a potential co-chair, I realize that professional and personal relationships are going to be super important in making Barrio possible, because like I understand that we're not just UFC members, we're students first. And knowing that, I have to give them benefit of the doubt that they can get the job done and handle this crazy schedule, because like they signed up for it. And I believe that they can make adult and mature decisions, as we are all adults. And I want them all to remember that I trust in them and that I don't need to micromanage them or micromanage them, because I'm going to keep them accountable, and they should be keeping themselves accountable for the commitments and responsibilities they sign up for. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's really important to start early and establishing goals and setting timelines for our committees and for the co-chairs as well. Of course, this timeline will be as flexible as possible, but we should all be able to be professional and hold ourselves accountable to meeting those deadlines. I hope to be able to foster a comfortable space where we can openly and safely facilitate conversations if we're struggling, and we're able to approach someone if they aren't getting their work done and if they're okay. If they're struggling, I want to try to be as available as I can to support them, or have a facilitated conversation between them and their other committee members to see where they can readjust their workload so it all balances out. I'm aware that obstacles throughout the Barrio process is inevitable, like things will happen. And by being open to the idea that people will have different and unique struggles, and given the situation with the pandemic as well, I also think that it's really important for the Barrio co-chair to be cognizant of how different people have been affected by what's happening with the global situation, like financially, socially, mentally, and practice even greater patience and understanding in that way. Thank you.
All right. So our next question comes from our general membership. Besides philanthropy, what ways will you connect the organization and Barrio to the present conditions of the Philippines?
I think right now with the whole pandemic going on, one of the issues that I really wanted to address in Barrio is how governmental response has really disproportionately affected minority populations, low people of low socioeconomic status, and racial minorities, especially COVID-19 has put frontline workers, such as healthcare providers, sanitation, grocery workers, who are mostly immigrants, or not immigrants, but like who are usually like people of color, at greater risk for infections with little to no appreciation or support from our governments. I really hope to use Barrio as a platform to educate and inspire others to act to change the systems within their local and greater communities that perpetuate these issues or allow them to continue in the first place, and address how these systemic failures also cause greater suffering and pain for people back home in the Philippines.
I think for me, for besides philanthropy, a big part of the Filipino culture is togetherness, and I think not only connecting us back home, but also, like I said earlier, and giving a more giving a bigger platform for us to tell the stories of immigrants that come over here as overseas workers, and just within this whole pandemic, like Mar said, we are in a time of uncertainty. So I think making Barrio more of our platform to tell a story of how we can come together as Filipinos can really reflect on how even in the roughest times, us as Filipino Americans can lean on each other for support. And by doing so, we can connect us here to our families, our past back in the homeland, and by focusing on like generational history um, and telling our own stories, uh, we can, I guess, create a holistic message to bring out for those who come. Thank you.
Hi. So in response to that question, like besides philanthropy, I just want to touch base that when people pay to go to Barrio, they're not just paying to learn about the culture, but they're paying for an education on relevant issues that impact our whole society. It doesn't even matter if I've never been to the Philippines, but it impacts my family. It impacts my friends who are from the Philippines, who are in the Philippines, my family there as well. So in light of like the whole quarantine and shelter in place and importance of essential workers, I want Barrio to I want Barrio to educate people on like how COVID has impacted the Philippines and how it's and how it has been impacted by a toxic government, and how it's been affecting all of our relationships to the Philippines, to our families, to the topics that surround our community today. And I really want to emphasize that it doesn't just impact Filipinos, it impacts people who are there, like American soldiers who are deployed in the Philippines, people who do studies on Southeast studies, who even live in Asia. So like I said before, Barrio is not just for us, it's for everybody around us. And I want people to see how the political climate in the Philippines doesn't just impact us, it impacts it impacts a whole demographic of people that they don't even realize. So I just want to utilize like the SJP and E chair, and like maybe gain more insight and education on this topic. And I want people to have and I want people to also have a political takeaway in light of when they walk out of Barrio. Thank you.
All right, so our final question, again, it comes from our general membership. Throughout the process of planning, it is important to constantly reflect on your why and the purpose behind the event to get through the difficult times. What is your why, and how do you hope to incorporate your purpose into your vision for Barrio?
Is it okay if I start with this one? I think my why stems from a place where I just want, or my why stems from a place where us as members can find a place to grow as Filipino Americans. I think for me, I guess walking into this institution as a Filipino American was really impactful because day one I saw Marlon on SU Park, and I knew that I wanted to make a difference in this organization. And I think I want to spread my why in the sense that um, everyone can come and share their stories too. Like, this is our event, this is our legacy. And I think that the stories that we tell here in this space right now is something that we'll remember for a long time. Thank you.
Sorry, can you put the question in the chat thing, please? Thank you.
It should be in the chat now.
Okay, before I start, I just want to remind the audience that it's not just my vision, but it's our vision for Barrio. It's not just me planning everything or potentially planning everything, but like Barrio is meant for us to like share our stories with the whole community and share with the local community our relevant issues and show them how we have overcome adversity in our new and young generation. Because, in light of like our vision, I want to say that we have the capability, not just as Filipinos, but as humans, to support and care for each other in order for communal success. And just like the communal part being Barrio, UFC. And I want to talk about like our communal success, like shedding light on real issues and hardships that that make us who we are today. Because we're not all from the same place. We're from all over parts of America, all over parts of the world. And I want Barrio to showcase that our challenges are relevant, and these wild times, just right now in 2020, like with quarantine and shelter in place, it's forcing us to like reflect on like who we are, what we are, and like how can we grow and move on from that. And I want to encompass our stories like as not just as like Filipinos, but just as like Americans of color who share different and unique stories and experiences that are relevant. And I want my why for Barrio to advocate for all of those Filipino Americans who feel shushed or like silenced by like their issues with mental health, like sexuality, their cultural relationships, their LGBTQ representation, or even their religion. Like, I don't think we should touch base on religion for Barrio because like it's kind of not. It's like kind of a weird subject to be neutral on, so I just forgot I said religion. But I just want to say that like my why, our why should like come from all of our unique experiences. Like it can come from your experience, my experience, like as a third gen woman, someone who came from like a predominantly white area. I want like not just my story, but everybody's stories to come out, and that's gonna like significantly show my vision, because I want our vision to like show all of us, because Barrio is not just UFC. Barrio is like our whole local community. It's bigger than all of us. And I want people who buy Barrio tickets to see that. And I want them to see that we are all together and united through our diverse experiences, but united through our similar culture and connection to the Philippines. Thank you. I hope I answered your question to the best of my ability.
I think my purpose for this barrio is to really share my personal experiences as someone who grew up in the Philippines and make this barrio inclusive of everyone, regardless of whether you identify as Filipino, Filipino American, or if you don't identify as Filipino at all. I want to share the Filipino spirit with our entire audience and really carry on Barrio's legacy for incoming and continuing classes and to make the graduating seniors and our alumni proud as well. I hope to incorporate my purpose into my vision for Barrio. I think by really just emphasizing the fact again that this is the whole club's show, it's the whole club's Barrio, and it would not be the same without everybody's unique perspectives and unique passions. So by creating a space where we all feel comfortable to share our ideas and work together to make those ideas into a tangible reality, I hope to really share the love, the support, and the feeling of community that is a really large aspect of what makes this club really feel like a family and what makes Filipino culture so unique and different from others. Thank you.
Alrighty, well, that concludes our Barrio Chair portion. Thank you all for participating.